Hello and welcome to the Build With Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a model kit and hang out with all of you, and I'm very excited for tonight. It's Saturday night. I am in a different location than my normal build. I believe my camera is closer than I would probably like, so we're going to see if we can adjust that live. Hey, Lashbrook, I'm throwing the barricade leg of the site, the emote in the chat. Lashbrook beat me to it. If you're currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you're not a subscriber, you can just say hi. Julie just says hi, Pat. Hi, Julie. Yeah, I think this camera is too close, so we're going to see if I can make that less like that. So we're going to go in to properties here. Aristofan's here. Hi, Aristofan. Throw one of those emotes in there. Configure video. And then let's zoom. Yeah, that's better. Yes, I like that better. Yeah, so elephant in the room. I'm in a different room. Yeah, I think that's better. We'll see when the overhead how it looks. But yeah, I changed everything up. Um, I am here in a different room because for the month of February, I am on my own. My folks are in normally live in South Carolina, where I'm living right now. They're in Florida for the month of February. So instead of doing all my streams from my bedroom, which is where I sleep, I have moved everything into the Carolina room or the bonus room, where I spend very little time, but my dad spends most of his day. So I'm here. I got a big TV that I'm not even looking at that's right over there. Did I pick the least interesting part of the room to use as my backdrop? 100%. That's the door to the screened-in porch right there, and that's a little bit of a nice little curtain that goes over some windows, because this room is mostly windows. It is a bonus room, or AKA the Carolina room, as it's called down here. It is addition to the house. That comes with the house, really, but it into the back. There's a screen-in porch, as I said, and there's very little wall, and there's a whole lot of windows. There's on the other side of these monitors, where my cameras are resting, is all windows. So I picked the easiest spot to set up. I probably could have picked a different spot, one that had. None of this room has like a lot of interesting features in the background. That's what I'm going to say. Not, you know what? I still don't like how close my camera is. I didn't change it. You know what? You know what? Actually, what's different? I realize what's different is just the amount of space I have on this table. Because here's the other thing that's great. Even though I'm facing windows, I'm not all the way up against the windows. So that means that my monitor stand can be a little farther away from me because it's not pressed up against a wall. So it can be, I get myself a little wiggle room because it can kind of hang off the table a little bit because I'm still on the same table. I just move the table out. But yeah, let me get in here and adjust this again. I apologize. I thought I adjusted all of this before the stream started, but apparently I didn't fix everything I wanted to fix. How about that? Yeah, all right, that's fine. And then we'll just physically move that like that. Yeah, all right, I like that better. Okay, we're going with that. That's what we're going with tonight. Again, this is an adjustment. I'm figuring this stuff out. The number one thing I'm worried about more than where my camera is the fact that I want to make sure that it's well lit in here. I still have my ring light above my build space. I've got the lamp that was in my bedroom. I took it out and brought here in this room. I've got a desk lamp at the other end of the table. There's a light in the back corner because that felt very dark, so I put a lamp there, but it's not in the camera's light because that would be inappropriate. I think what I'm going to do is see the back corner there? There? Yeah, I'm going to put something over there. So there's like something to draw your eye. I want to do something. It feels very empty there. And I want to mix things up. But yeah, how's everybody doing tonight? Let me know in the chat if you're doing well. We're going to get started with the building here. We got the Kyrios. We got to build. Also, I'm going to say this up top. I'm wearing a hoodie because it's colder in here. There are two things keeping this cold. One, it's a bigger room. Ceilings are higher. It's open. There is a big open area over here. Excited for the Super Bowl tomorrow, mostly because of food. Indeed, Julie, I understand. But yeah, I got an open air area leading into the living room. Um, Also, I got a tile floor in here instead of a carpeted floor. And one of the benefits of being in my small bedroom and doing my streaming in the small bedroom is I had this computer running, a small bedroom, door closed, window closed, lots of heat in there. And here, wide open area, even with the computer right over here, it's not, it's hot, it's colder in here. So wearing the hoodie because I'm a little cold. Also, the second thing, because Julie mentions good food for Super Bowl. I'm not going to be watching the Super Bowl tomorrow. It's not my jam. I had my Super Bowl party tonight because I got Domino's for dinner, and I'm full of Domino's. I ate Domino's 2 hours ago, which was not enough time between eating Domino's and starting the stream. I should have gotten Domino's early. I didn't, and I should have, because I'm full of Domino's. My folks have been gone for 2 days. And I was like, you know what? Instead of cooking, what if I just ordered Domino's? Now, I know what you're asking. You're saying, Pat, I need to know right now, what'd you get at Domino's? I'll tell you. I got the Pat Bear special. First things first, you're going for the 3 for $6 thing, $6 each thing. You're only going to get 2 of those 3 things, though. You can get a third thing, still get that $6 price. You're not going to do that. You're going to get yourself a cheesy bread. I like the cheesy bread. I think it's very good. Are you going to get ranch even though you have ranch dressing in your fridge? Yes, because that's a different kind of ranch. You're going to get the ranch. Parents gone sounds like some risky business. Indeed, Aristofan, I'm not wearing sneakers right now. So there you go. So I got myself some cheesy bread. The second thing you're getting, because I got the cheese bread, what's the other thing I got to get? Well, I'm getting myself a medium thin crust bacon and onion. Medium thin crust bacon and onion, that's not good pizza, Pat. It's from Domino's. You're right. It's not good pizza. It's good pizza. There's a difference. It's very bad pizza that tastes great. The bacon is greasy, right? You're going to get a lot of bacon grease in there. The onion absorbs the bacon grease. And also, the onion is in there because it also sweats, keeps the bacon from being too burnt and crispy. So it's crispy, but it's not too crispy. It's not dehydrated. So you can still get a little chew on it. It is a fantastic combination of, would I get bacon if I went to a nice pizza place, would I get bacon and onion? Probably not. I would get pepperoni, I would get sausage, I would just get the cheese. But I'm not ordering from a good place. Bacon pineapple is Julie's favorite. Ooh, I could see that working very well. Same theory of the pineapple absorbing some of the bacon grease, and you get greasy pineapple. I don't hate that. I don't love pineapple. I don't love cooked pineapple. I don't like my pineapple hot or warm. I do like pineapple. Just not that way. But you live your life. You do you. You go for your joy. My joy was, this is a thing. It's been so long since I got Domino's that my points expired. And I've never had that before because I always got it enough times. So I, totally was like, I guess I had to get pizza. It was time to get some pizza from Domino's. I got food. I got plenty of food in the fridge and the freezer. But that was just something that I kind of missed. I kind of just missed my garbage. And so I got my garbage. And you know what? I'm happy I did. Let's see. What else? Anything else I need to tell you before we get the stream started? Not really. We're working on the Kyrios. It's our orange friend. We got a little bit done here. The lighting of this, the overhead lighting should be better than this lighting to let you know that this is a deep orange instead of this kind of like mustardy orange. Ooh. As I said, remind me of Round Table Malzal, or my Uzui, tender ham, crispy bacon, juicy pineapples, tomatoes, and red and green onions. Copy and pasted from the site. Okay, yeah, that is. I totally mispronounced that, Aristofan, but that, yeah. I could see pepper, different onions, yeah, working with tomato and yeah. 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 Thanks everybody here. We're gonna get building in a moment. As I said, new background, same place. Wired connection. Very excited about the wired connection. That should mean that we are, at the very least, our connection should be solid, which it's been wirelessly. And the best part is my download speeds are better being wired. My upload speed should actually be slightly better, which will be great for uploading my YouTube video after the stream is over. It would be lovely. The other thing is the reason and we're actually going to get building because I can talk a little bit about this whole choice of that. So I'm going to retweet my tweet. Then we're going to get to the building stuff. Intro over. It's time to build. Let's do that. We've gotten very little done with the Kyrios at the end of last stream on Thursday, so now we can get into it. So let's go to the overhead. There's the overhead. Oops, I got to adjust this. It fell a little bit. That happens. We do like that. Great. We're good. See at the middle. Yeah, that's about the middle. Great. We know our colors, and we're ready to go. So we did the GN unit that goes inside this thing. We do not have the LED for it, which we could get one if we wanted. I don't want, so we didn't get. But that's going to go in here. Okay, so small. I like this. I think this looks okay. My lighting makes me look a little bit like this isn't a real background because it's so washed out, because it is a very pale color. It and because does that read? Do you think that it looks like I have a zoom background? Because that's a real background, but it feels a little bit artificial in this, and I don't know quite why. I think it's because my lighting is just the lighting is different in here. Hello, Gundam Barato's Freedom. Nice, great name there. Love that. I thought the same thing at first. Actually, says Bobby. Yeah. All right. So I definitely need to play with the lighting. I think what I'm probably going to end up doing, also, hi, Bobby, is one of these lights here, probably this light that's over here that's near me hitting my face. I'm probably going to swap out the bulb in there and try to get something that looks, I don't know, a different color. And I think that might help some because I think that my auto light adjusting on this webcam is just making it look like I got a zoom background, and that's weird. So that's probably what's going on. I don't know for sure. Like I said, I'm figuring this out. We haven't dropped any frames. I'm happy about that. That's the thing I'm most happy about because that's an annoying thing. So we got the GN drive. We don't have the LED for it. Yeah, it does. I think that's what's happening. That it makes it look like I've got a zoom background because it's so light. Maybe, you know what I could also do is I can get a blanket, a dark blanket, and hang it where I have that the white curtain for the porch door. I could put up a dark curtain or something. I don't think I have a curtain, but I could put a blanket probably or a towel. But maybe I'm going to get some color in the background, and that will help some. I don't know. I'm talking out loud right now because I'm trying to figure this all out. I shot something in the afternoon, and it looked fine because I gotta shoot stuff. So, but everything's looking pretty good. I've also been playing around with OBS Ninja. You won't see that tonight, but basically, I need a third camera for Wednesday. Now, what's Wednesday? Well, if you've been to the stream the past couple days, I've been plugging it. It's my first ever cooking stream. The Prepare with Baer workshop is going to be on Wednesday. And I'm going to do some cooking in the kitchen. And I want a camera that's on me, and the overhead camera is going to go on my prep area. But I'm also going to be obviously doing some cooking on the stove. And I don't want to have to move the overhead camera to that. I want to have a third camera. Lashbrook made a very good joke, and yes, I will acknowledge that very good joke. Lashbrook says, "Is that the version of OBS that doesn't stream with women?" And that is a very good joke, Lashbrook. It's very, very good. So it's a joke about Ninja, and it doesn't stream with ladies because it gets complicated because people make assumptions about what their relationship is. And for some reason, that's scandalous for him. That people might say, "Oh, there's a woman on here. Are you dating?" And he'd have to be like, "No, it's a woman." And I guess that would be a problem. Anyway, OBS.Ninja is a place where you get yourself a, it doesn't have to be through a smartphone, but in this application, we are turning a smartphone into a webcam. But basically, any camera you have, you can turn on, and then it gets sent via a code, a browser link. It basically turns your web browser into the webcam and uses your webcam through the browser, but it becomes a browser source. So then you could open up OBS and you just do that. And then you get a bunch of them. You can tile them and make them whatever size you want. It is what some people, not a lot of people, Loading Ready Run uses it. I know Giant Bomb played around with it. I don't think they actually use that. But it basically just has a bunch of browser sources. And it's what some people are doing when they have to have a bunch of different webcams going. You can also use it to turn your smartphone, because you get the link, you send it to your smartphone. Your smartphone suddenly becomes a camera, and you can do it on your own network, which is what I'm going to be doing, because that is a cool idea. And that way, because if you want to use the actual OBS software that turns your webcam in it, that's like $15. So forget that. And I'm not going to be using this webcam, my phone, for the whole stream. I'm going to be using it very briefly. It will mostly just be when I want to show what's going on in the stove, which will be like the least of my stream. So for that, like, I'm not going to buy a third webcam. Also, this time of year, or this year in this economy, in this pandemic, no thank you. I'm not going to try to get myself a webcam. So I'm going to use my phone. And I am excited about that. Hopefully, it will work. But I'm going to be testing that when I set stuff up. The real question right now is, can I have my phone on Wi-Fi upload that feed on the same network that I am also streaming on Twitch? I don't know yet. I'm going to find out that day when I run a bunch of tests. If it doesn't work, what I will do is just go to like the intro shot here, like I normally do, take my overhead camera, move it a little bit, and then, or angle it, or do that live. But that's basically what I'm going to do. But what I want is this shot, with obviously without my face, but with my face, but where I have the photo of the kit. Instead, I'll have the other camera, and or a version of this where it's like three different. Where I don't know yet. It's going to be different. I got to play around. I'm getting one piece of gear because it was inexpensive, and so I wanted to get it, which is nothing that's going to change things here. Basically, okay, so this is what happens. When I got this light ring, it's very bare bones in that it's just the light ring. It didn't come with anything else. It didn't even come with the USB to wall adapter, which is fine. It didn't need it, but it didn't come with it. So I was like, okay, well, how am I going to do this? All right, so this goes like this. Yeah, all right. That goes like that. This is the head. Or this is the neck, I should say, for our kit. All right, so that goes in like that. All right. And then this is going to go like this. How does this connect? Nope. Sorry. Give me a second to figure out how this goes. Sorry. This is confusing. Okay, so this is going to go like this. And this is going to go turn the part. Oh, it just rests in there? Oh, it rests like that. Oh, okay. Now I get it. I figured this out. I guess you couldn't use mobile data because it needs to be on the same network as your PC. Huh? Yeah, I mean, you could use that, and that might actually work better. It doesn't have to be because it's just a browser. Basically, that's how a site like or a group like Loading Ready Run is doing it. Is people are just sending this browser link of their webcam feed to Paul, who's doing all the production. He's getting all these ones, and so each browser link is its own like tab in probably XSplit or OBS. And he's just getting a browser, and then he's compiling all the browser sources and figuring out the boxes and all that. Um, it also means that everything comes in at the size you want, so you don't have that issue where like if someone drops out of a call, you know how like if you watch Giant Bomb, and someone has to reconnect, uh, the the boxes go like if Brad's streaming the Bombcast, the boxes don't fit right because they have their overlay, and then like their overlay is built around the idea of what Zoom or Jitsu looks like. Uh, and I remember when they first started using Zoom, they couldn't see Vinny in the thing because Vinny was compiling his own OBS into it, so they wouldn't be able to see him. They would see him in the corner, small. You don't have that with OBS Ninja. You're just getting everybody's own browser thing. So it's pretty good for that. But it's it all, like I said, is another way of doing the whole not having to rely on other software. You're just using this extension. Um, Jitsi does show you yourself, uh, but some people don't want to use that. They want to use their regular webcam. I don't know. I'm figuring all this stuff out. Like I said, it won't be much of the shot. So if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Uh, but I am excited to play around with stuff and get things working. Um, I don't know. We're not doing any panel lining on all this stuff because almost all of this is gonna, a lot of this is gonna get covered up. So I'm not worried about it. Once we're done with the chest, if there's any spots that are standing out, I'll kind of hit the marker in there. But I'm just gonna hit black on this gray if I do any of it. Uh, but like right now, I'm looking at it, and a lot of it's going to get covered up with armor, so I'm not too concerned. But yeah, I mean that's the big thing right now is just figuring out how to get uh, all of this stuff working for Wednesday, I should say. Also, I have to kind of wait a while before I get things set up because I'm going to be setting up all my stuff in the kitchen. And so when I set everything up in the kitchen, I can't, then my computer's in the kitchen. And I have a laptop, which I haven't been using that often. So I can always use my laptop, but like this is my main thing is this computer. So like I guess I'll bring my chair into the kitchen. I don't know. I got to figure stuff out. Oh, the one piece of gear that I'm buying. I forgot. That's what I was going to talk about. The one piece of gear I'm buying is another clamp. My light didn't come with an attachment, so I took the clamp that has a tripod thing on it that just literally clamps onto the pole at the center of my monitor stand. And my webcam, that's facing me, this webcam, is just on top of my monitor, and I don't like that. It's a little off center, so it's actually on a little angle, and I don't like that part. I want to be able to see it to be straight and above. So I got another clamp because it's like $14. It's one of the best things. Also, what I can do is I can unscrew the webcam here, and I can screw on this attachment I have for my phone, which I'm going to be using, but I can put it on the clamp, and I do that when I have to do some stuff for Instagram. Anything that I can do on my phone that I can't do on my computer, which is basically Instagram and like FaceTime, I just do that. I just have the clamp set up with my phone, and then my phone is set, so I don't have to hold my phone if I'm going to do that. I don't FaceTime that often, but every once in a while, I got to FaceTime with people. Or, like I said, occasionally I've been on Instagram Live with a friend, and if I do that, I don't want to have to hold my phone. So that is my solution. Although maybe Instagram now you can do on the computer. I know for a while there you couldn't. Maybe you can be on Instagram Live via your webcam through the browser, but I feel like if they did that, it hasn't been since I've done it. So I don't know. All right. So this is done here. And then this is going to go... Did I do this right? I didn't do this right. That goes the other way. I did this wrong. So I got to separate it. Oh, one big thing, here's one unfortunate thing that's happening. The room that I was in before this, my bedroom, which I was using the stream from because that way I could be loud-ish and not be in people's way, and also would have my privacy while I was on the computer, which is my main mode of doing things. Yeah, this has got to be like this. I did this wrong. Great. So yeah, when I did that, it was in the room. It's a carpeted room, and it meant that this folding table, which has a lot of weight on it, was pretty stable because it was kind of going into the carpet. Here on the tile, it does move around way more than I would like. I'm trying to figure out a better way to balance it. I got to move the computer that's on here a little bit to help stabilize it, but it does wiggle, and so I am trying to be very aware of that because I don't want it to be a pain in the ass for folks to deal with. But that is a reality for tonight, at the very least. Is this table has a lot more wiggle to it than I would like. But I'm going to attempt to try to balance it more so that doesn't happen because I know that sucks. All right, so we got that done. We got our figure in here. We got our in a cockpit. We're getting our chest components together. Now we can build out the rest of the back of this towards the back of the GN drive. More gray pieces. Gotta get more gray pieces. Oh, I am just full of Dominoes. I should have eaten earlier. Honestly, I forgot I was going to order it. I said I was going to order it. I got excited about ordering it, and then I got caught up in other stuff. I had a D&D session today, a Zoom D&D session, which was very fun. I am working with the same group that I've been playing around a little bit. We are still doing one-offs. We are picking a class from a list of available classes that our GM is familiar with. We're doing 5th edition, which almost everyone is pretty familiar with. I am the least familiar in my group. And we are doing one-off adventures. It's kind of like figure this out, and our GM who understands what's going on is kind of guiding us and letting us know what we can do and giving us kind of like a cheat sheet for it. And it's very fun. It is a group that consists almost exclusively of improvisers. The person who is... It is very fun. The person who is not an improviser in the group is a stand-up comedian. So we're all comics. It's just that one of us is not an improviser. But she's also... The stand-up is the GM, and she's very talented and knows what the fuck's going on. So we are in very good hands, and it is very fun. And yeah, we're just doing one-off adventures. I was a bard today, ish. I wasn't really a bard. I was a mage who focused on bard-like shit, which is confusing and doesn't work great. I was someone who wasn't allowed to become a bard. He was a mage that just tried to do buff spells like a bard does, and it worked out pretty okay. I can't ever not be complicated, folks. I have to be annoyingly complicated. It's how I play. It's my love language in D&D is to have some nonsense thing, because I could have just been a mage that likes casting magic. Or I could also be, and I'm sure people have had this before, a mage that doesn't like casting magic, because that's fun. Instead, I was a mage that wanted to be a support class. And it was challenging, because knowing that, I did have several instances where a character would be like, throw a fireball, and I would be like, no thank you. But how about you get more endurance? And they'd be like, no. What? Why are you doing this? It was really fun. It was challenging because I had to play within the limits of what I could do, but it was still very fun and very silly, and I had a very good time doing it. All right, let's make sure I'm doing this right because heaven knows I could be doing this wrong, and I don't want to. So this goes like this. This goes like this, and this goes like this. Okay. But yeah, it was really fun. I did that this afternoon, so I lost track of time and didn't order my Domino's until later than I would have liked, which meant that I had to eat it at like 7:30, and I need more time to digest all that salt, especially when I'm not used to it. This is a house that eats well, but we don't eat takeout that often, so yikes. But yeah, all I will say this: the experiment of, hey, how are you fucking doing, Pat? Being alone for the second day in a row, and the answer is, thank God I had my D&D crew today, because I did not speak to a single person outside of text messages yesterday at all. And that wasn't necessarily completely like foreign of a concept to me uh, uh, the last couple months of last year, the first couple months of last year, because my roommate made the smart for him decision. My roommate made to live with his girlfriend, move in with his girlfriend because of the pandemic, and move out. He made the very smart decision for them. So that meant for several months I didn't really talk to people. And I kind of got used to that. But since I moved here in July of last year, I have seen my folks every day for several hours and eaten lunch with at least one of them, if not both of them, and eaten dinner with both of them every day, just about. Very rarely not, almost exclusively yes. And so it's been kind of fucking weird to not have that yesterday and today. So it's strange. So I was very grateful to have my D&D crew today as something to do. Also, I had to watch Horimiya today before the stream started because I want to be up to date on my anime. And woo, we'll talk about it later, but that episode was good. There is a reveal, new character introduced, and explains a lot about the show. I think I tweeted about it, so if you saw the tweet, spoiler. But yeah, it's weird. I'm definitely going to be trying to encourage Zoom Hangouts and JUJUTSU and Google Hangouts, whatever I can, trying to encourage people that I like to like hang out. I'm gonna try to get some group hangs going when I can, because the alternative is not having that, and that sounds terrible for me and my whole fucking deal. Because I want to not lose it. I'll say this. I'm going to have to get more podcasts because now I'm cooking and listening to podcasts. I almost exclusively listen to podcasts when I'm cooking. And when I'm like walking around, just so there's like voices happening that aren't just voices in my head. And I really need, I think I'm gonna run out of podcasts. So that I'm just gonna have to. Maybe I'll go back to a couple that I let drop because I was not listening to as many podcasts as I used to, because of, just the way things are here. Also, I'll be watching more YouTube stuff probably while I'm eating. One of the benefits of moving, I've been listening to Sawbones. It started 7 years ago and has a ton of episodes about medical history. Julie, that is a podcast that I listen to. Yes, I enjoy Sawbones very much. It is probably my favorite McElroy adjacent podcast. It has a McElroy, the larger McElroy family of podcasts. It is probably the one I listen to the most outside of my brother, and me. Um, I think Wonderful was a great podcast pre-pandemic. I think during pandemic, Wonderful is. I feel like they don't want to do it anymore, so I stopped listening because it felt like they didn't want to be doing it. Um, and I feel bad because I like them. I think Rachel is great. Uh, but it feels like it doesn't feel like joy to them anymore to me. Um, so I was like, I'm gonna pass on this. I might go back to it. I'm gonna go back to Wonderful. Um, but yeah, I already listened to a good amount of podcasts. I'm just upping the amount. Uh, I might try to get a few more wrestling podcasts. I'm down to one wrestling podcast, which is very good. Tights and Fights, very good podcast. So I might add another wrestling podcast to the oeuvre of podcasts I listen to. I haven't quite decided. Um, Again, like I said, I'm going to wait until I put more of this armor on here before I do any panel lining. Although I don't even probably need to do anything on this, but maybe I will. Where do these go? Let's go here. I'll say some of these arrows are not good arrows. Some of the indicators of where these pieces go are not great. Okay, that's where this goes. All right, I'll do that. Yeah, I'm going to look to see if this was take any panel lining. I guess it would take a little bit. Do some gray here. But yeah, I'm going to need some more podcasts. I think that's going to really help my need to have thoughts going on. I'm getting caught up on some comedy albums that came out in 2020 that I never listened to because people were like recorded them in 2019 or in the very beginning of 2020 and are just took a long time to release them because or I just wasn't in the mood to listen to comedy. I was not necessarily in the mood for comedy albums last year. Mike Kaplan's got an album called AKA that I have not listened to all of right now, so I cannot tell you exclusively that it is good, but it is very good. Mike does a very good job, and Mike Kaplan is a very talented stand-up comedian. That's Mike MYK Kaplan. If you want a recommendation. Also, I'm listening to. It's been a little while since I listened to it because I miss New York so much. I am listening to an album that is all about New Jersey. Chris Gethard, who is so from New Jersey that it is a part of him, and all he does, made an album that he recorded in New Jersey about New Jersey. It is called Taylor Ham, Cheese, and something or other. But if you look up Chris Gethard, Taylor Ham, Taylor ham is pork roll, but they call it Taylor ham. But it's just a pork roll. It's just a pork. It's just a slice of meat and cheese and egg on a roll. But they call it Taylor ham there, and you're from a particular part of New Jersey if you call it Taylor ham. It's a great album if you've been to New Jersey, if you've never been to New Jersey, if you love New Jersey, if you hate New Jersey. It's great. There's a section of it where he just starts having the audience yell where they're from, and then he says what he knows about that part of New Jersey, including a place that literally the audience gasps at, and then apparently someone gives this person a dirty look when they say where they're from, and then Chris is like, "What's your deal, man?" And he like literally wants to know what the fuck's up with this town, and it's incredible because I have no like frame of reference for this, even though I have been to New Jersey. It's a great album. Chris is a lover of the state. He has a new podcast that I believe is just him interviewing people from New Jersey about their being from New Jersey. There is a long segment. Thank you for the follow, Serge. I appreciate that very much. Thank you. Welcome to the Build With Baer Workshop. There is a lengthy segment about Action Park, the worst theme park in the world, the worst water park, I should say, in the world. It is a delightful album. If you just look up Chris Gethard, Taylor Ham, you will find it. And yeah, I've been re-listening to that. Also, because I kind of I miss my weird New York friends. And even though obviously, this album he's talking about New Jersey, he's still a New York friend. I really do miss my weird New York friends, and my strange New York friends, and my lovable New York friends. So, Pro says, "How's the brown panel lining going?" So good. We'll actually see it on this orange here. We're gonna hit this with some stuff. I'm gonna get all these. There's only one other component that needs to go on here. Once I get these components on, we'll take a look at it. But good. I think brown for the red was the right choice, and I think the orange is the right choice. Oh, Xander wants me to hit the gong. Xander is using his channel points wisely, so we can gong this gong. And here we go. There's that gong. You're welcome. And also thank you. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna figure this out. I got the other F-17 on here. But yeah, I think the color choices I picked are gonna work out well. That's what I'd like to say. Kind of who knows, but I think that's what's gonna work out. It's been a while. I did the kind of the sister kit to this, which is a lot of the same frame. 2 years ago. But there's still a lot of this that I'm just I don't remember how this works, because the Exia was a 2009 kit. So this is definitely different from that 2009 kit. So I'm kind of just okay, I think this is right. I think this is right. I think this is right. And this kit's going to be even taller. This is going to be apparently a very tall friend. So that's cool. That was the Dynamese kit that I did, I think 2 years ago. Maybe I did it in 2020, very early in the year. I can't remember, but that was a very cool kit. All right, E16. I'm currently looking for the Exia Amazing. Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah, that Exia, I'm hoping they put out a new version of. Because I remember that 2009 kit very felt like a kit from 2009, which isn't a bad thing, but it's not great. I don't know. So I bought the Calamity, the Full Mechanics Calamity. Now, people are like, "Oh, it's not. Why isn't this an RE100? Why is this a Master Grade?" And I'm like, "I don't know. It's the Full Mechanics." They're like, was in Build Fighters. He was the good bad guys Gundam. Okay, that's right. Yes, Exia Amazing is that is a build. Yes, I did know that. I forgot that, but I did know that. I knew that at some point. Okay. Yeah, I don't know about that one. But the original Exia that is from Double O, I like, but I don't love. All right, so let's put some black on this gray, because we will see this gray here. Again, I'm not necessarily sure what's going to show up and what's not, so I'm not going bonkers with panel lining right now. And once it's all together and the chest is done, I'll go back and see what actually needs it and what doesn't. So we'll hit this with that. Also, this is the back of the kit, which, you don't have to panel line the back of a kit, but I do like doing it. All right, then we're going to hit this with brown. On the topic of cool kits, I just made the Za Gundam Master Grade. Oh, hell yeah, Xander. Well, speaking of cool kits, the coolest kit is I'm building that high-grade Death Scythe, and I can't wait to build it. Can't wait for that Death Scythe. That high-grade Death Scythe. I don't care that it's a high-grade. It's a new high-grade. And I can't wait to work on it, because it's a high-grade of a Death Scythe, and I love that. And it looks real good for, the renders they're putting out. Oh, wow. You built the Momo Capul, is that what it's called? I can't remember. Yeah. From Build Divers. Hell yeah. All right, so I think that's going to be all that we're going to panel line on this right now. We'll take a look once it's all together. So I'm just going to go and hit this For that, we don't have to go too nuts on this. As I said, this is the back of the kit, so we don't have to go bonkers with it. But we want to get a little bit going here. And then once it's in, these little pieces that like to come off won't come off. All right. So let's get this on. And then we'll get this piece on here. And kind of slide this in. Make sure this is connected here. It's connected there. Great. And you're like, Pat, there's a cavernous hole in the back of this. What? Well, that's where the GN drive goes. You put the GN drive in there. We're not going to do that yet because they didn't tell us to, so we're going to let that go because it might be hard to put the rest of this together if that's in there. I don't know yet. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Okay. Oh, because things snap in. All right. Okay, that goes there. Now we'll get some more armor on. Like I said, I haven't done all the panel stuff because I think a lot of this layers of this is going to go over other layers. But I'm not super familiar with this kit and all the ins and outs of it. So it's a little like, I think this is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing, but I could be wrong. But this piece, I know we're going to see what it looks like on it. So we are going to hit this with yellow. And we're going to use black on the yellow. I don't like using brown on yellow because to me it looks like it rust and I don't like the look of that. So we use black, which some people don't like, but I do. Yellow and gold I like using black on. I just think it looks cool. So we're going to go with that. So yeah, there's a little bit of black in there. You can see it. When does the pre-order open for death? So I pre-ordered it already. I pre-ordered it from USA Gundam Store. I believe Gundam Planet will have it. Big Bad Toys might have it as well. I don't know who else is going to have it. But I pre-ordered my Death Scythe from USA Gundam Store because they are based in Florida and I'm in South Carolina. So they have a flat rate for shipping, which, but it means that it won't be in the air that long before I get it, which is kind of more of what I'm interested in. Also, they often have a slight discount when pre-orders come in to encourage people to order from them, which it's a little bit of money. So I will do that. Whereas I used to order a lot from Gundam Planet because they're based in New Jersey. When I lived in New York, that made the most sense for me, was to get something from New Jersey. And I don't recommend, I don't know if they're up for pre-order on Amazon. I don't recommend pre-ordering things from Amazon in the year 2021. One, because it's fucking Amazon. And, and two, because they don't really limit how many pre-orders they take for an item. They don't charge you, which is nice, until it starts shipping. But by not charging you, they have no problem with overestimating or underestimating and over pre-ordering and then just being like, actually, sorry, we don't have this right now. We'll let you know when we do, which is bullshit. So, fuck Amazon. They canceled my Hello Kitty Zaku. Oh, that sucks, Jam. Also, hi, Jam. Welcome. But yeah, they canceled my pre-order for the Mew action kit, and then I had to get that on my own later. Or actually, someone bought it off my wish list. But yeah, I had paid for I tried to pay for the pre-order, and then they were like, "Oh, it'll charge when we get it." And I'm like, "Okay." And then they're like, "Oh, we fucked up." All right. So I didn't get it. Yeah, so I would recommend not pre-ordering model kits, especially this year, from them, just because it seems like they do not have the numbers to support that. They do not seem to care. All right. Ooh, that looks good. Oh, this orange looks so rad. Yeah, the lighting in here I think is better than the lighting up here. But yeah, that's a really sharp looking orange. Real rad looking. All right, well, whatever. Flip it over. And that will do what we did here, but on the other side. So we'll get, we need A13. So we'll get A13 out, which is the same piece we just did. We're going to hit that with black, because that does look really good, I think. The sheep I'm drawing on my tablet looks very disappointed in me. Okay. Well, you made it that way, Sander. Well, that's also cool. Yeah, I think it fucking rules when people do anything along to if you're working on your own kit, if you're doing some art stuff, if you're just like cleaning up something, you're cleaning your whatever, or you're just hanging out. You put on TV and chill. My friend Ian was talking about how often that is what he'll do is put my streams on while he's just relaxing. He's not in chat, he's just watching, which I think is neat and I appreciate very much. But yeah. Oh, I found my new favorite Twitch stream type. My new favorite thing that I'm into watching on Twitch is competent fuser players. Sometimes they're solo, sometimes they're in groups because the multiplayer got some new stuff and is like good. It's still weird to figure out on Steam, but apparently like it does work. Competent fuser players are awesome, and it's something that like of course it would be if you find them. But these are people that are just like, are they in real life or have they been in their lives DJs or people that work in the music industry? Certainly possible. Because to me, fuser is different from people that are like, I like rhythm games or I like Japanese games. These are people who are just like, I am a DJ or I am very into rock bands and I figured out that this is a thing that I like, so now I'm doing that. And they do a very good job. And I'm really appreciating the people that are putting the work in. But yeah, it's very chill and sometimes very fun, because you're like, oh, this thing's going, and then all of a sudden it's the vocals to like just some random song you haven't thought about in a really long time. Because all of a sudden it's Jolene, and you're like, hell yeah, Jolene! I'm messing with the software synthesis right now because the LGR video interested me. Check it out. Oh, hell yeah, Lashbrook. Those have been pretty fun. That is what the LGR gentleman has been doing to deal with isolation and the pandemic, is just getting way more into synth production. And it's pretty fun to check out along with what he's doing. But yeah, that is cool. So that is kind of been my new like one, when a season is pretty long, because we're into the winter season. Every new season, I will check back in with my Animal Crossing friends to see what they're streaming with Animal Crossing. But where we're in right now, a lot of those folks are just checking out Stardew because there was the big update to Stardew, the 1.5, and I'm not super into Stardew Valley. I played it. I'm kind of done with it, so I don't really like watching it. It's not that chill vibe that I'm looking for. So I'm kind of avoiding those streams and those streamers, and I will come back to them when there's when the spring update for Animal Crossing happens, because a lot of them will go back to Animal Crossing most likely. So that's kind of where I'm at now, where it comes to that. Where it's just like, yeah, I'm going to take a break from y'all. So I was looking for another like thing to chill and relax it about, and that ended up being Fuser, which is fun. And sometimes you get chaos, sometimes you get, I am just using all the parts of All-Star, and for the next 45 seconds, we're just going to listen to All-Star. And I'm like, okay, ha ha ha. And then like 4 minutes later, it's like, and now All-Star again. And you're like, okay, we're done here. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. Because I just don't want to hear all of All-Star. Because I would just listen to All-Star if I wanted that. All right, so these go in there. Look at that. Look at that action. Boop. Boop. That dude must do pretty well for himself, because even at cursory glance, that stuff is not cheap. Yeah, I think LGR, I believe that a lot of that stuff he's had for a very long time. He's just getting some new equipment. And two, look, there's something to be said for living very cheaply in a place and not having a family or any major health issues. You can spend a lot on your passion projects if you don't have a lot of things that cost all of your money. You know, you can end up doing some pretty cool shit. Uh, I don't think anyone's doing great in 2021 when it comes to like if your main source of income was YouTube money, because everything seemed to go to hell. Because even though a lot of people are watching stuff on YouTube, the economy's still bad. So everybody's numbers went up, but everybody's AdSense either didn't go up or went down, including me. I think last year I made like $8 instead of like $25. Now, part of that is I didn't have improvised post-mortem. Like I didn't have a PAX West big improvised post-mortem that would have 10,000 views, 8,000 views. I didn't get that, so I didn't have one of my big ticket things, and my live improv panels don't do even as well, even the one that was online. Like those numbers aren't there yet. But yeah, not having a big panel definitely hurt my numbers, but like still I was consistently put stuff out, so I don't know. I try not to think about that when it comes to model kit stuff, or not model kit, my streams and my videos. Like I'm not chasing big numbers, but I would like to have more numbers. In fact, I want to say hi to everybody that's watching right now, because out of nowhere, a bunch of people showed up. Welcome to the Build With Baer Workshop here on a lovely Saturday evening, working on the Kyrios. It is a great looking kit. We're panel lining as we go, making sure that this looks great, kind of checking out any spots that need a little bit as we go. Not done, obviously, by any stretch here. We can put more of this on here, so we'll put some parts on the waist here. Or the torso, I should say. The torse. We got to put some torse on. Our only red, which we will be putting some. We'll either be doing brown or black on this red. I have to kind of decide. So let's get these parts out, and we can kind of figure that out before we put them on. So let's do generally with red. I will do brown on red sometimes, and I will do black on red sometimes. It depends on the kit, honestly. So we'll hit that with brown. I don't hate that. And then we'll hit it with red. Or with black. There's not much red on here, so I don't hate the black. I think we're going to do black. Yeah. I think we'll hit black with that. But yeah, let's see. I found a YouTube channel that I am kind of devouring called Aging Wheels. I am not the first person to be watching this, certainly. It seems to be a fairly popular YouTuber who kind of made a go of it. I believe like at the end of 2019 was like, I'm going to do this full time. But has a lot of like, I've got this weird electric car. I got to fucking fix this weird electric car. I got one of these tiny cars they made in Germany. I got a Trabant. Let's like figure this shit out. I bought a school bus and I'm going to turn it into an RV. This is going to take forever. Why did I do this to myself? Like, I don't know. Seems all right. I'm kind of, just you got to look. Stuff comes out, or stuff doesn't come out as much, and so you got to figure out what you're watching. And sometimes what you end up having to do is watch a thing that you didn't know you would like, and just being like, well, I'm watching this now. I like the making and the figuring out part more than I like the whole that I like cars, because I don't really give a shit about cars, but I do like, hey, I have to figure this thing out, and I don't know how this thing works. Let's figure that out as I'm trying to make this work. Ghost Valve says that channel is very entertaining and interesting. Yes, I also appreciate that most of the time he's like, hey, this is entertainment. This is like, I'm fucking this. I might fuck this up. You might know better than me, but I'm just trying. Harold throwing in the Bear Cave emote. Thank you. And the Lego. And, of course, the bomb emote from H-Bomb. Thank you, Harold. We are literally jumping a step here because I forgot I haven't put on this front part here. I almost missed a step. So let's do that before let's actually cover up the cockpit. We will take a pause for the calls in a moment or two. Talk about ways you can support the channel. That is coming. And so we will do that in a moment. And then we will get back to building. But let me find E18. E18. So we'll do that. And then, yes, we will take a pause for the calls once we're done with these steps. And I'll talk about ways you can support the channel. And, of course, talk about some anime, because anime came out. I said I would talk about a little wrestling. I'll talk about a little wrestling now. Basically, I started thinking about booking the territory, how I would do the Hangman Page storyline going into the rest of this year. The long-term booking for one of the best stories happening in the background of wrestling, which is, since he got betrayed, Hangman Page can't trust anybody. Looked like he was going to join the Dark Order. Doesn't want to. Doesn't really want to join Matt Hardy's crew. And I think that he should be bouncing between all these different groups. Any face group, even heel groups. And people want him because he's a great wrestler. But he's been hurt. And he doesn't believe that he deserves to be in a cool crew. So he keeps leaving all these groups. Like, he gets offered to join the Best Friends. He doesn't go for the hug. He leaves the hug. Because of his obvious look and long hair and outlaw persona, he gets offered a cushy spot in the Jurassic Express and turns that down. I think you keep him away from Eddie Kingston stuff because Eddie Kingston is so... I don't know. Yeah, maybe you do. Maybe you get him, like, see what his chops are on the mic against Eddie Kingston. Taz tries to get him into, the Taz team. Whatever. You go through all those things. And it eventually leads to him in a championship bout with Kenny. And that is where Kenny... Oh, yeah, the Elite. Glassberg wants him in with the Elite. So, Xander, I'm talking about AEW, All Elite Wrestling. Hangman Page is a wrestler. He was in a group of guys, a good group of guys. He was one of the tag team champs. He was doing good work. But it all went downhill, and he blames himself. He blames his drinking because he got a tag team that he actually thought he should hang out with kind of used him. And then the people that he thought were his friends and cohorts kind of turned their back on him. And so he's got his storyline, his wrestling storyline is, I don't belong anywhere. I shouldn't be with people. I don't deserve that kind of happiness, which is fucking rough. It's good storytelling. But basically, I want him to be the person that beats Kenny Omega because all of the friends he made along the way show up. Because even if he doesn't think he's worthy of being in these groups, they do. So when the Elite members and the extensions and some Bullet Club members all try to stop Kenny or help Kenny, those are the people that come and back him up. So you get all the Best Friends, you get the Dark Order, you get whatever groups have been Joey Janela, and anybody that he's been anybody that he was helping out. Maybe for a little while he joins the Guns, the father and son Guns, and kind of hangs out with them or whatever it is. Anybody you want to put him with, they end up having his back because Adam Page is the guy that can eat at any table in the lunchroom because Hangman, people they want good things for him. And even if he doesn't believe it, they believe it. They believe in him. And I think that's just a really good story to tell. But who knows? They've been towing it really well because it really looked like they were going to make him the bad guy, and it turned out he wasn't the bad guy in the story. Everybody else was the fucking bad guy. He was the good guy in his story. But he doesn't believe it. He believes he's a heel. He uses the bad guy entrance, or he exits out the bad guy entrance, not because he's turned heel, but because he believes that he's a bad person. Which is like, for a wrestling show, that's a lot. That's a goddamn lot for a pro wrestling show to be like, wow. It's like pathos. It's pretty good. So I want good things for it. I do want him to be, if somebody who we didn't know on a national or international stage in AEW, having Darby have the TNT Championship really helps and is a really good call. But I feel like Hangman Adam Page is the guy that wins the belt. That wasn't like Jericho or Kenny Omega or John Moxley. Your first, like, hey, he was on the Indies, but this is like his first television national title. It's Page. It's been Page, and they're slowly making it Page, which is fucking awesome. All right, we're going to take a pause for the cause, folks. We're going to take a brief couple minutes here to talk about ways you can support the channel and ways you can help out. If you're currently a subscriber, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the moat in the chat. Let the people know. If you're new to the stream, this is going to take a couple minutes, like 5 minutes, where I'm going to do my ad break. I'm going to talk about ways you can support the channel because I would love for you to support the channel. You don't have to, but it would be great if you did. It's and then we'll get back to building because we still have so much more of the Kyrios. I mean, we got a lot of the chest done, but we got to do this backpack thing in the back, so we'll do that. But yeah, please throw those emotes in. Let the people know these are the ways you can support the channel. Becoming a subscriber is a great way to support the channel. You get those lovely emotes. You also get my gratitude. $5 a month, cash money, or you could use your Prime gaming token because even though this is not a gaming stream, you can just do that. If you have Amazon Prime synced up with your Twitch Prime, you get that. You can use it. If you're not using it for me, please use it for somebody. The alternative is Patreon. I got a Patreon. If you're like, Pat, I don't want to give money to Twitch. I watch Twitch. That's fine. I already followed you and turned my notifications on so I know when you go live. You can join my Patreon. I got a $1 tier, a $3 tier, a $5 tier, a $10 tier. And if you're watching this later on YouTube, what's up, YouTube? You can find all that in the show description of this YouTube video. You can find out how you can support me there. Because it would be great if you did. But you don't have to. But if you wanted to, it would be rad. So that's the way to support what I'm up to. Let's see. What else? Gonna say, okay. I got a Patreon. I got subscriptions here on Twitch. All the money I make from that goes to model kit building. If you want to directly support me with cash, like a one-time thing, I got 3 ways to do that. You can see that here in the chat. Streamlabs and Coffee and PayPal. All that I make goes back into it. I buy model kits because I got to build model kits. I just bought this. Bought. It's coming in the mail. I haven't gotten it yet. I got a Nanoblocks Ava 2. Gonna point that out right now. I just bought that today. It'll be here sometime next week. I'll build in the future. I have never built anything with Nanoblocks. They're like Lego, but they're not Lego. And I've never built anything from Evangelion on stream before. So that is going to be something that I do on stream because I just haven't. I was like, well, if I'm going to get a Nanoblocks, I guess I'll get this Ava unit because that seems like a weird thing to do. So I'm going to do that. And we'll, I guess, talk about Evangelion while I build it. But probably not that deeply. So I got that. And if you're like, well, Pat, what if instead of building the things you buy, what if I bought you something? Well, that's a great idea. You can go to my Amazon wish list and do that. We'll quickly talk about that. We'll get through this very quickly. I got some Lego sets that are inexpensive. Some, as I said, nano blocks that are priced to move. Some high grades, some master grades, a entry grade, the Ultraman, which is going to be a lot like that Kamen Rider, I'm sure, but I still put it in there because why not? Like to see that. Inexpensive high grades, expensive high grades, master grades, all kinds of different model kits that I would be thrilled to build, and you could buy it, and then because you bought it through my Amazon wish list, it comes to me. I make a video about how you bought me something from this wish list, and thank you for that, and make a little video, and then I build it, and it jumps the queue. It goes ahead of everything else, and I build it as soon as it comes in. It basically, as soon as the thing I'm working on is done, I start the next thing. That's my promise to you. An alternative to that is USA Gundam Store. You go to USA Gundam Store, you buy a gift card. They send you a code in the email. It's no physical cards. You just get a code. Then you whisper me on Twitch, or you DM me on Twitter. My DMs are open, and go like, "Hey, here's this code," and I'll buy something in USA Gundam Store and treat it like it was Amazon, but it's not Amazon, which is cool. And I won't pre-order something because it takes forever. Because the last time I pre-ordered something, it slipped, and that was other people's money, and that was a bummer. So I'm not going to do that again. I'll just get something that is available. I have a Discord. You can join my Discord. That's a free way to support what I do. We will get back to building in just a moment. I'm going to talk about a couple of videos you can watch. But yeah, I got a Discord. It's very chill. You should join it. Pat Bear's Anime Club. If you want to know what's going on in the winter 2021 season, the season of anime we're in right now, Pat Bear's Anime Club, my last video, is the video for you. I recorded it live on stream, talking about all the shows I'm watching. The only thing that's updated from now is I've watched Skate the Infinity, and I'm probably not going to keep watching it, but I understand why people like it. And Vlad Love is coming out on Valentine's Day, and that's technically part of this season, because even though it's starting a month, into the season. So I'll probably check that out, because it's a romantic comedy about a vampire and a girl that loves to give blood. And it seems real weird. So I'm probably going to watch at least the first episode of that. Let's see. Another thing I want to watch. Bear With Me. Bear With Me are reaction videos. The most recent reaction video I made came out on Wednesday. It is me reacting to 3 short soda reviews that a independent wrestler named Jeff Cannonball does. And I watched 3 soda reviews that Jeff made. He makes a lot of them. And I just reacted to all 3 in a row. Because they are, as advertised, short. And that was fun. I was happy to do that. I love doing that. I recorded next week's. It's the first thing I recorded in this space. And most of the time I'm like, oh, or cool. This time I'm very mad. I watched a video that made me angry. So that's a unique thing. So I was pretty happy to have something a little different. Because it really did make me mad, and I was like, "Oh, we're gonna have to talk about this." I'm in a space watching this, reacting to this video. I think you'll like it. Hey, now's a great time for people to drink a little water, and then I'm going to talk about anime and get back to building. Thanks for everybody that hung out. People that are sick of my ad breaks, I apologize, but I needed something to drink. Yeah, I'm going to try to put something up. Oh, you can see behind me there. There is a painting there of a lighthouse. This room's theme is lighthouses, and that wall has the least amount of lighthouses on it. My mom likes lighthouses. Something you didn't know about my mom, who you have not and will never meet. Because I'm not going to exploit her. I got to say, the one who is kind of tuned in to his coworker in A&W, who kind of tuned in, got his coworker. Okay, I have to do a lot of explaining what is going on lately. Yeah, they don't do a good job of letting you know who people who are not part of that company are. And guess what? All these rad Japanese wrestlers that are coming in for the women's tournament, they are not going to fucking talk at all. Yeah, even I don't know who that pastor dude it was. Oh, that dude rules. He's just a dark minister. He's just like a satanic minister guy from Impact. Yeah, they don't spend any time telling you who the Impact people are. They don't even tell you who the Good Brothers are, who you would theoretically know more about. Yeah, they do a very bad job with all this, and they're going to do no good job about letting you know about any of these Japanese wrestlers that are coming in for the women's tournament. One of whom I got to look up her name, because her Twitter game is incredible. She just swears in English, and she is apparently in on the joke. But she's just like, I believe her tweet was, "Hello, welcome, motherfuckers." Um, I cannot imagine what people who only watch AEW thought of this Kenta bit was. Maki Ito. Yes, Maki Ito. Um, so the people that only watch AEW are people who used to watch WWE, so they don't know Kenta by that name, but they know him from NXT because you're more likely to have those people watch that. So they kind of know who he is just from his brief NXT run. Um, I can't imagine they're super familiar with Japanese wrestling, but they are at least familiar with WWE because they claim to hate it, but watch it. Uh, all right, that piece I didn't have to do anything. They don't panel lining on. Let's see. Kind of like trying to look ahead to see what is going to need panel lining and what is not going to need it. So, kind of just like trying to figure this out as we go. All right, that goes in there. This is like a runner piece. Okay, there it goes. All right, we'll put a little bit of marker on this before we put it on there. All right, let me talk about anime. So I'm a spider, so what? Okay, so if you haven't been watching this show, a bunch of students in a high school class in Japan were isekai'd into a fantasy world, and they were born into new bodies. Almost all of them are humans, except for one girl who is a dragon. And later in the episode, we see that she has become she's growing, she's evolving as a dragon, becoming bigger and stronger, and she's stronger than some of the humans. So part of the series is a typical isekai. This group dynamic isekai where like a couple of them have kind of gotten messed up, and a few of them are heroes and figuring out their responsibility and thriving. But one of these people, uh, well, she's a spider, and we don't really know what's going on. And I thought, hey, this is the 5th episode. This show moves pretty slowly. Like, it introduced a bunch of characters, but then, like, she's still a spider dealing with shit and not really doing much. That's weird. And then I realized, oh, this is a 24-episode show. So I'm a Spider, So What has a lot more episodes because it's a double length. And I didn't know that because I kind of literally looked it up going, I wonder if this is like, is this going to be 13 episodes? Like, they're going to have to really pick up the pace. They don't have to pick up the pace. This can be a slow burn, which is cool. I think that's very cool that it can be a slow burn. She is now in a lava area. There is some rock, but it's mostly lava. And our spider, who I just call Spider, she has a name. We learn it, but I'm just going to call her Spider because it's easier. She is in trouble because she is in this lava area, and her webbing just catches on fire, which is a fucking problem. So she gets away, hides, and is like, all right, well, I'm in trouble. I'm going to use the evolve that I saved because she almost evolved after a fight in the last episode. So she's like, all right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to cash in my evolution, and I'm going to get a bunch of traits. And she becomes a small poison Terratech, which is a spider, and it gives her more venom abilities. She's got more like poison dots on her. She's looking pretty cool. And she chooses the skill Pride, which is going to boost a lot of her skills and proficiencies, but it's like all the dark... She's basically getting like... She's choosing a dark build. She's going for like a renegade build, basically. And she's like aware of it. She's like, I'm picking some really sinister sounding things, but whatever. This build seems to be working for me. She still really can't do magic. She's like, whereas her former classmates are out there learning in fantasy school, they're learning magic and stuff and how it works. She has to be self-taught and is fucking running into a problem with that. She's running into a big problem with that because, like, She doesn't know how to cast magic. She's figured out a little bit of it, but not a lot. Um, and she's trying to train up her skills. Let's see. What else do I want to tell you about what's going on here? Yeah, let me just get this. Oh, we do see the students. And one of the girls. So I think I had a revelation. Um, so one of the girls who was isekai she's really into the church. Apparently, her character is an orphan and was raised in the church, and she was like isolated from some of the other people who were isekai. Um, and so she hears the voice of God. She says it's God. I don't think it's God. I think she hears the system voice that we've heard when the spider evolves. I think everyone hears this like RPG voice, and she's interpreted that as God because she grew up in a church, and also that is how she's mentally dealing with the fact that she was isekai'd, either transported or died and was reborn, which was reborn. They weren't, yeah. She was like reborn in a different body. And I think she's just mentally dealing with that. But also, so it's like, oh, that sucks. But also, she's a fucking zealot. And she's talking about how, like, hey, there are forbidden skills. If you ever find somebody that has some bad skills, let me know so I can kill them. She literally is like, hey, let me know. I want to execute anybody that has, like, cursed skills and titles. And I don't know if that's the gods teaching or if she's just like messed up. But she's like, yeah, if they got the taboo skill, let me know so I can kill them. And it was like, oh, wow. Well, you are probably a lost cause because I don't know how you're going to break that. Because I don't know how anyone's going to be like, yeah, I hear God all the time. When I level up, she like, or when I use appraisal, she like gives me command. It's not God. That's just the voice. That's just the RPG trappings. But yeah, definitely bad news. Okay, so back to Spider. Uh, Really good action scene where she kills a lava seahorse basically, and then she has to kill a big crab thing or a catfish thing. And the food's really good. She's very happy about that. But end credits. After the end credits, we see a scene of the the world's hero Julius, who is the older brother in this world of the guy who would be the main character if this was a regular isekai. There's a guy who would be the main character clearly, but since this is not a regular isekai, it's this girl that's a spider. But yeah. So that's really bad. Uh, there's also a thing in this where they're talking about how like if a monster had human intelligence, it would be really bad news because monsters have way better powers than humans do. But because they are monsters, it kind of evens out because they're not super smart. But if if there was ever a monster that had human intelligence, the world would be in trouble, which is great foreshadowing because we know of a monster that has human intelligence, and that's our spider friend. Uh, and yeah, that's the show. I'm digging it. I'm still liking it. Um, it doesn't give me too much of the people I don't care about because I mostly care about the spider. Like last week's episode was all spider. There was no other people, and that's cool. And I don't mind that. So happy to report, even when they cut away, not the biggest deal in the world. And all right, we're gonna hit this here, hit that there. We just used some black on this. It's a dark gray, but the black will probably make it a little shiny in places. We're not going to really see this because this is the back of the kit, but it's still good to do it. It still looks rad when you do it. And then we'll hit this other thing as well because we didn't hit all the other parts here. So we'll hit this part now. Once we get the rest of this top part on, we'll finish this part here because that's the bottom. And you're not going to see all of that, but you're going to see some of it. So And like I said, even when I panel line stuff that isn't super noticeable, it's good practice for me getting better at panel lining, and I enjoy it very much. So I'm still going to panel line. So this is going to go here. We'll hit that. Let me tell you about more anime. All right. Jujutsu Kaisen. We did not see any of the Yuji Todo fight. I thought we would see more of that. I'm really surprised. That is clearly the main draw of this arc, this kind of battle arc, would have been that, but we are spending all our time with the side fights. Last week we got Panda versus Mekaru. So we got a guy remote piloting a mech versus a panda, a reanimated panda that also has the spirit of a gorilla inside of him. So he could become a gorilla panda, which we didn't know until last week, and looked fucking rad. This is more cool than rad, but it's still cool. Alright, so this is going to go in like that, and then we'll put a 3 and a 14 in. Okay, so this episode, I actually looked up the names of some of these characters that barely have had their names said out loud. Jujutsu Kaisen has been fucking awesome. I didn't love it at first. It took me a couple episodes to really get into it, but I am enjoying this arc where we're just getting a flood of new characters with new powers, and you get to kind of see what their vibe and their deal is, and I've been really digging that. Maki, who is the person that can't even see spirits without special tools. She is fighting Kasumi, who is the blue-haired girl that I didn't know was a student. When she got introduced, I thought she was a teacher because she was basically a comedy character, so I didn't realize that she was not. She was a student. But she's a sword wielder, and all her abilities are based on the sword. And she gets her fucking ass kicked by Maki. I don't think she's out of the competition. I don't believe. But she definitely gets fucking taken out. And rudely, she gets her sword stolen. Because Maki breaks her weapon in order to take her out. And it's a fucking really good fight. But yeah, Maki steals her sword. And we've known that Maki's sister goes to this, she went to this school because her sister went to the other one. She can't see spirits, but she's physically strong and much more capable. And she left the family, and apparently the family has been making it so that she can't get promoted. They've been pulling their weight. So this event should let her showcase her skills so that she can hopefully get promoted within the school system. So this is an important event for her. A3, great. Ooh, look at that, green. Oh, look at that lovely see-through green on the back of this kit. Hell yeah. It's going to look great. I don't have to do anything to this, just put it in. So we had that fight, and then, okay, so I found out the name of the witch girl, the girl that can fly and is like a witch. Basically, she's a sorceress, but she's got like wish shit going on. She flies on a broom, like that kind of witch shit. Like she could probably take out Nobara, but she's worried. She's like basically has to keep her guard up constantly because there is the guy that can fuck with their heads, the speech user, and so she's worried about that. And there's some talk about Maki, and you don't know anything about her, blah blah, and there's a lot of shit going on, and it's fine. Nobara fucking pulls out all the stops, and her main weapon is a hammer, but that's really good against fighting curses. It's not necessarily great against fighting against a person. So she realizes, okay, I would kill her if I hit her with this hammer. I'm not going to do that. So she goes to use a rubber or a comedy hammer, basically, which is, very funny that's the choice she uses. But it doesn't take her out, so she has to swing again, which gives time for the evil Mai, to just motherfucking shoot her with a rubber bullet because she can control with curse energy the trajectory of bullets and make them strong, which makes sense. It's probably the most straightforward ability that anybody has in the show. And that just retires Nobara. She is like knocked out cold because she got shot in the head with a cursed bullet. And Maki is using Kasumi's sword and takes her out. A lot of action with this one. And then it comes down to a physical fight because Maki outsmarts Mai and just fucking takes her out. And it was pretty emotional, like their thing. Like the hatred that Mai has for Maki is that she left and she broke her promise. But she had to leave. And she's like, you could have just been a servant. You didn't have to want more. And she's like, yeah, but that doesn't work for me. I had to do all this. I had to love me for who I am. And it was just like, I don't know, it was pretty poignant. And yeah, we didn't see any of Yuji versus Todo. And also, I'm 9% sure that we're going to see the monsters, the curses, the high-grade curses are supposed to invade this thing, and I think they will, so we'll see. But yeah, maybe we'll see some more Yuji. Oh, I think next week we're going to see, like, Megumi fight the other guy. But we'll see. I don't know. Things are heating up, and yeah, if you haven't checked out Jujutsu Kaisen, it started last season. It's a double length. It is a really solid shonen. I think Yuji is a fucking really likable character. I'm getting into the other ones. They introduced some new characters like this half of the season that I'm liking. I'm not loving, but I'm liking a lot of them. And watching people who are primarily used to fighting monsters fight each other, other humans, has been pretty engaging, I will say. It's pretty rad. Alright, so this is going to go up here. I don't know where this goes. Oh, it goes like that. And then... Okay. And that goes down. Oh, that goes over this part. Great. And this goes here. I'm just going to try to figure this out before I talk about the next two anime I got to talk about here. Because we got two more shows to talk about, but one will be over very quickly because it is super short. Oh, it goes like this. Literally short. With the dog and a cat, every day is fun. Continues. I will tell you. Okay, so this is going to bend down, but I got to do this. After I build this other one, it's two J pieces going together. Let me tell you about With the Dog and Cat, Every Day is Fun. A lovely little series you should be watching. They're like 2-minute episodes. When the owner makes eye contact with her dog responds positively. They can kind of understand each other, even though she's sure the dog does not know any English. But the owner is convinced that the cat can read because it always seems to know, even when it's well hidden, where the food is. And she's convinced the cat can read, which is just silly and weird and fun. The dog likes going to the vet, likes the veterinarian, is weird. It does not mind at all. The cat does not like going, and also hates the carrier and anything that, like, this kind of carrier that supposedly all cats enjoy. This cat hates it. The cat is just never going to like the vet. And that's the episode. With Dog and Cat Every Day is Fun is very short and cute, and I recommend it. All right, let's put some black on this to kind of let a little bit of this pop, and then we'll put it on as well. We're just going to hit some of the spots here. Just kind of going along, again, quick and dirty. Hitting any of the indents. Anything that looks like it's an indent, we'll just hit. And clean it up. What isn't? Nice and quick and dirty, as I say. Let's see. What else we got? Okay. Horimiya is still so good, folks. If you're not watching Horimiya, they just announced the dub. It's coming. My internet friend, we have not met in life, but we are friends on the old internet. Y Chang, who is from Beyond the Bot, which previously was called Getting the Robot when it was on Channel Federator. Now they're independent from Channel Federator, and they are called Beyond the Bot, and they are so great. But yeah, he's also done some voices. He had a character in some dubs. He's a dub voice actor. He is a minor role in the show. But yeah, Horimiya, if you have not seen it, it is a very good romantic comedy in that there's some goofiness, but it is mostly pretty down to earth and pretty grounded as far as romantic comedies go. It's not a wacky show like Quintessential Quintuplets. So I really enjoy it. Yeah. The end of last episode, Izumi told Kyoko, who was sick at the time and was maybe asleep, he was like, "Hey, I am in love with you, and I've been in love with you for some time." And then he left, and she was not asleep, and he probably knew that she wasn't asleep, but she was. Okay, so here's the back unit, which just looks awesome, and it goes like this, and this thing just looks rad as hell. And there he goes. This is the backpack, basically, which is why there's not a light in the back of this, because this goes down. But yeah, this thing looks really fucking cool. So we got all that done, which I believe is... Yes, we can now finally move on to the head. This was almost the entire stream today was doing almost all of the chest. That's how big this master grade is. That is what we focused on. We can now officially move on to more of this kit. We can start working on the head. And of course, we got a lot of stickers too. All right. So Horimiya, lovely show. A day later, she's still dealing with it. Like, she doesn't go to school because she's just like, he said he loved me. Like, what the fuck? Like, I don't, like, yay, but also what? And then he left, and, like, does he want me to pretend I didn't hear it? What's going on? Like, she's in a lot. She's got a lot going on. She's a lot of places. But her younger brother sees him out with a girl. And she is just fucking jealous about it. Like, she is just like, what's up? Who's this girl? She's got, like, a uniform from, like, another school. Who is this girl? What is this? What's happening? And, but she's like, I can't just ask him what's going on. Which, like, yeah, you can. But, yeah, it's high school, and I understand. And then, basically, he's just like, hey, I know you were probably awake. I'm sorry. And then she's just like, who is this girl you were talking to? And she's mad, and he doesn't understand why she's mad. And he does not do a good job of explaining himself because he does genuinely have no reason to lie to her and isn't lying to her. It's his friend from middle school's girlfriend, but he's calling her by her first name because he doesn't know her last name. Otherwise, he would use her last name. So he's just like saying the name of some girl like they're familiar because he doesn't say her first name because he's trying to be respectful. So she's just like, who's this girl and why are you saying your name and what's happening? She like throws books in his face. And later they work it out. They figure it out. And they make up pretty quickly. And then Izumi apologizes for confessing and leaving. And it's like, are they going to figure this thing out? Are they going to say what's going on? Are they going to express themselves? And then we get the reveal of Kyosuke, who is Kyoko's dad, who she does not refer to by dad. She calls him his first name. And I don't think he lives there because he's another guy that works and travels or whatever. But he is married to Kyoko's mom. And yeah, something's going on there. And then a lot of this show makes sense because this dude is a tall guy with long hair in his face that smokes and is a hot dad. And then you're like, oh, yeah, now I get why she likes Izumi. Totally. And he sometimes tries to act like a father, but not really. He's really off-putting and weird, and he definitely weirds um, Izumi out because he's just like, you can't date someone with long hair. And he's like, I'm just kidding. I always wanted to say something like that. And he's just like, what, blah, blah. And, oh, hey, cool, you have piercings. Oh, neat. Oh, all right. And then he's like, hey, so are you two dating? And you're expecting, oh, this is where she denies it and he denies it. And then the dad is like, okay, yeah, sure. I'm sure you aren't. But instead, Kyoko is like, yeah, we are. You got a problem with that? And they are dating, apparently. I mean, they like each other. She hasn't necessarily, fully said out loud her feelings. They did that whole thing where they're like, I love your hands. Like, they had that whole, like, don't say it, but don't say it thing. So, that did happen. But this is just confirmation of their feelings for one another. And they're fucking dating now, y'all. They're dating. They hold hands later. Um, and Izumi tells Toro, who's the guy that already confessed his crush, and he's fucking not dealing with it great. But he's still going to be like, hey, I'm not mad at you. Like, he's trying to be the bigger man. He's trying to grow as a person, which is cool. There's a small little thing with Sakura from the student council, who maybe has feelings with Toru and is friends with Remy, who I still do not trust. The redhead Remy, who is, I think, a troublemaker and going to try to fuck up some relationships. I think we're going to see more of her being awful coming up. We got some stickers on here. We'll do a little panel lining before we move on, because it's easier to panel line this face. It's going to be a lot easier to do this now than when it's all together, so we'll get in there. I don't know what it needs, but it's always nice to hit the face with a little bit of gray just to see. And then we can just clean it up. But we'll hit this with a little bit. Doesn't have as many lines to panel line, but we can get a little bit of there. Yeah, very little. It's fine. Oh, and then Izumi wants Kyoko to call him by his first name by the end of it, basically. And maybe she will, but she's also, like, gets in that fit. But yeah, he wants her to call him by his first name and to prove that they are a couple. But yeah, they're dating, folks. Episode 5, we got past the like, oh, we're from different worlds. Oh, we're showing our different faces. And now we're like, there's a nice little moment, a very high school but lovely sentiment where he's like, I don't know a lot about you, but I'm really interested in and I want to find out more over time. And she's just like, yeah, same thing. So their couple, we're going to see their relationship grow and change and ups and downs with it and all that. Everything in a high school relationship that you're expecting. I like I like the dad just being like, I don't know, he's just a weird dude, but also that he is this like hot older guy, and you can totally understand what's going on because he's the absentee father who is also very similar physically to Izumi, but like Izumi is clearly like a good dude. So she's basically dating like a better version of her dad, where he has his looks but not the personality. And it's just like, oh, shit, anime. This anime's fucking going for it. Okay. I don't know. It's enjoyable. I like it. I want to see more of it. That's Horimiya. Horimiya. Hori and Miya. It's basically one of their last names fully and one of partially their last names. But I call them by the first name because it's easier. And that's that show. It's good. Skate into the Infinity. Skate the Infinity, I should say. Okay, so this show, I didn't didn't watch any more of it. I'm kind of done with it. But I will make a comment that I've seen online some people calling it SK8 instead of Skate the Infinity. They're calling it SK8 the Infinity, which I think is I would not call it that because I think that's just worse. I think my way of saying it, skate, because it's SK and the number 8, the infinity. So it's like skate the infinity. I think is better than what I've read or heard some people call it. So I'm like, So I'm going to keep calling it what I call it. If I'm wrong, fine. I don't care. It's a fine show. I'm not interested in going back to it. If I hear it's like takes like an incredible turn, maybe I will, but I'm pretty good with where I'm at, where I know it exists and it seems fine. We got to put these holographic pieces in, and then when these holographic pieces are in, we'll put in some of the rest of the head here. We won't finish the head, but we'll get some of it done. The bigger pieces you can kind of just pop out. I like for the smaller holographic pieces that we're doing here, I like using the X-Acto knife to like get in there. And just making sure, even if you use the back of it, just to kind of remove the piece, makes it a lot easier. One of the things about using panel lining stuff is I got to wash my hands more because you get a little bit of ink, but it comes right out with soap and water. It's not a problem. Yeah, I want to get at least, I want to try to get some of this top part done here because otherwise these pieces are just going to pop out constantly. Between now and Monday. My next build stream is Monday, but I do want to remind you that next Wednesday is a big stream for me. It's my first ever cooking stream, Prepare with Baer Workshop. This Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. I have never done a cooking stream. I am nervous about it, but I am also very excited to do it. I'll be in my kitchen. I will have basically the same setup here, only this will be zoomed out even more, and my prep surface area, and then I'll have another camera that will be over my stove for when I am doing one dish. I am doing 2 dishes. I'm doing a main dish and an appetizer dish. And I have not said what either is, but I am looking forward to doing it. One is a 1-pot main course. The other is a very simple appetizer. That certainly, and I'm not breaking ground with either of these things. These are things that I just these are kind of go-tos. When I was thinking about meals that I would make for myself, these are things that I would make that will be easy to do. I'm not doing anything super fancy with them. I think I'm doing one ingredient that you probably don't have at home, but is easy to get and you can get at any grocery store. I'm trying to do simple ingredients. I will include the recipe and the preparation and how much of every ingredient in the show description when it goes up on YouTube. I am not doing a cook-along thing where I tell you in advance what the recipe is and you can kind of get the ingredients. But if you want to make it later, you're more than welcome to. And hopefully you'll share that with me if you do, because it would be rad to see. All right, I gotta get this little piece in here. These holographic parts are cool, but especially the head pieces, I feel like you never really see. The arm ones stand out the most because they're clear on the arms. You can see them. And the legs, I think the legs have like all these front like fins, so I think they're harder to see. But yeah, that head piece is tough to be able to see what's going on. Do I have to put a sticker on any of this, or just put the clear piece on there? Was I supposed to put stickers on? No. I guess this one doesn't have the stickers on it because it's got the colors there. Okay, we're gonna stop here. I've got these in at least, and they should stay without having the rest of the head. But we'll finish the head on. We'll finish the head up and get the rest of it on there on Monday. This is not gonna. No, it'll stay like that. Great. Just pop this out for now because we haven't finished it. So let's put the head right there. But yeah, we did pretty good on this. I mean, this is a complicated kit, but I am happy to finish it. We are going to raid. That is how we end every stream, is we go and share the love by going and raiding another streamer. So Just hold on tight while I go and find somebody cool for us to go raid. Again, my next stream will be on Monday, so please go check that. I will have zoomed out more, and I will try to add some color to the background so that this does not look like I am in front of a Zoom background. And the one thing I will say is, if it does look like this is a Zoom background, at least it's not that, like, there's no weirdness where it very clearly isn't. So that's good. All right, who we got here? When do I want to do this? No, I don't want to do this. Okay. We're going to go raid Xandra. Xandra rules. Xandra is playing Super Mario World, but I'm sure there's more to it than that. But yeah, Xandra is fantastic. We love Xandra. Xandra made all my emotes. She is great people. So we're going to go give her a raid. So feel free to come along on that. I almost was going to raid a VTuber, but I don't know the content. I don't know enough about VTubers. I know this VTuber, which is a weird thing to say out loud, but I do know this VTuber. But I don't know enough about VTubers in general to go raid a VTuber. So we're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to raid Xandra, who rules, and I know what she does. So feel free to come along this raid, because Xandra is lovely. Hope to see you on Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern, for another stream where we're going to continue where we're left off here with this kit. Thanks for being here. I hope you have a great rest of your Saturday night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll see you on the next Build with Baer. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.